Dominic Sherwood plays Jace Herondale on the show, and he joins us now
Yes!
with a preview. Yay! Dominic, great to have you here with us today.
Thanks for having me.
Fans are so sad that the show's going to be ending. They flew a plane over Netflix. They bought billboards. What has that meant to you that the fans are so dedicated?
I mean, first of all, I would like to say that it wasn't my fault, so please. Like,
by the way, we're showing our viewers now what they were flying above Netflix.
Wow, that's amazing.
That's what it looks like.
Yeah, no, it's such an unbelievable thing that our little show had touched so many people in so many different ways that they were so eager to have it not come to an end. The only sort of nice thing that I can say to people is that we've done, I think the writers and the directors have done a really good job at putting together like a really nice ending to the story.
So people will be satisfied at the end, or not wanting more?
Well, it's tricky because I don't want to give it away.
What will they feel like at the end?
I mean, there sounds like they're going to be devastated regardless.
Yeah, it's tough because the writers did a really great job at sort of rounding out a lot of stories and then also leaving room for like sort of there is like an air of mystery towards the end, and there is heartbreak and sorrow, but also happiness. And I don't want to say anything else without giving anything away because my head's just going, tell them about this. And I'm like, no, I can't.
Yeah, it's like, no, don't say anything. Don't say
that,
a word. Okay, so for our viewers that maybe haven't caught up with the very end of it, where did we last leave your character, Jason? Where are we going to be picking things up with him? Are we getting into spoiler territory again?
No, I don't think. Well, this is the problem because I'm like the Tom Holland of our cast, and I give things away all the time. And I'm trying to remember exactly where we finished.
That means I gotta have you on more often. You're gonna be spoiling everything.
This is a problem. I'm like, because my head's saying, Clary died, right? That's what happened at the end of the series. Yeah, I think so. I don't think I'm giving anything.
No,
because the way we film them as well, they lead directly on to the next episode. So I think that's why. Yes, that's what happened at the end of the last series. Clary died, and we're dealing with the aftermath of everyone feeling responsible. My character specifically feels very responsible for the mayhem he caused in the last series. So that's where we leave. Oh yeah, look at that.
Yes.
That's fancy.
Yeah, there you go. Well, give us, for people who might not know that much about your character, just give us a sense of how you prep for the role.
Yeah,
what
the sort of blurb breakdown for Jace is that he is part of the group of the Shadowhunters who are born and bred half angel, half human hybrids who are born into this warrior collective who are in place to protect the human world from the demon world. That's their entire job. And throughout Jace's story, we find out very sort of Star Wars-esque that his father is his father, then he's not his father, and he accidentally falls in love with his sister, and then she turns out not to be his sister. Then he gets possessed, he turns out he dies, then he comes back and he's unprotected, so he gets possessed by the Queen of Hell.
So juicy.
There's all kinds of stuff goes on. It's crazy. And then, the end of this last season, Clary dies. The love of Jace's life dies. Kind of his responsibility because he's possessed the whole way through the last season. And does all of these dreadful things that kind of cultivates in Clary dying. So
when you guys finished filming, did you take any souvenirs with you as like something from the set to be like, you know what, I need to remember this moment and this character and this show? The answer to this is yes.
I mean, they can't fire me, so the show's done. I think this jacket is from set.
This is from the set, yes.
This is from set. And
you know what, I don't blame you, I take that jacket too.
But I feel like they let you take, you didn't like steal it. Or you did, did you take it without
We're changing our breaking news
swiftly on from that. I also
have,
I have a couple of little bits that were in my bedroom, like my bedroom set. I have a couple of little pieces from there. So they designed a sword that was just for my character, and I have one of those, which is very cool. But it was like, there were things that I was like, this is what I want to take home, and I want to take that, and they were gone already.
Yeah.
Like, people had already had them. Yeah, I was like, man, I should have been stealing stuff from season 1. That's what it should have, just like into the pockets the whole time.
This is a year-long plan.
Are you good at wielding a sword?
I am now.
I wasn't.
I wasn't at the beginning. I mean, my real life.
I don't know.
Yes, because he walks around on Broadway with a sword in his hand.
I left my sword in the hotel just so there's not police waiting outside for me.
What kind of training goes into being able to sword?
So we had an incredible stunt team that was led by Dean Kopkoff and Darren Maguire, who really sort of took after us and found the different ways that we were already the different places we already had our talents. So like Kat was trained differently than the way I was trained, and they focused on those and turned us into these these soldiers on screen, but the way they trained us was teaching us the martial arts in real life, and then being like, do exactly that, but just don't hit anybody. So it's exactly the same, just stop like 4 inches away from where you should be.
Wow.
So that's, yeah, that was kind of the training that went into it, and then there was a lot of heavier stunt work. There was, I think the most fun thing I did was it's called a box jump. So you jump off something high into a rig of like cardboard boxes.
Like a pit, yeah.
Basically, yeah, and the harder you hit them, the more they collapse underneath you, and it's the most incredible thing in the world because a jump from 30 feet and you don't feel the landing, but if you jump from 15 feet, it hurts a little bit because they're not collapsing under your weight as thoroughly. But yeah, it was a 30-foot jump into cardboard boxes, which is
How many takes
scary.
did that take?
So they didn't let me do it on the day. I did the training for 3 days, and I did about 50 jumps. And then we got to the day and they were like, no, insurance won't cover you.
Are you serious?
I'm like, are you
What?
Are you kidding? That's like, I've done this jump already. And they're like, no,
Yeah,
no,
they just
not
wanted you
doing
to do
it.
50 just for practice. One of the other things that your fans are obsessed with you about are your different color eyes.
Yeah.
Your eyes are
Yeah.
so cool.
Yeah, so that's the whole thing.
Are those your real eyes?
No, I borrowed them.
Yes, are you just wearing weird contacts? Liz? Do you feel like your different color eyes maybe helped you with this role?
No, the character in the books has gold eyes. So it was the opposite, and this has happened twice. So I played a character called Christian Ozera in a movie called Vampire Academy, which is also based on books. And his family very famously had ice blue eyes in the books. It was like a big story point. And the director, Mark Waters, I mentioned it. I was like, are we going to do anything? He was like, no, I love that. That's great. We're going to keep that. That's all this crazy stuff.
Yeah,
I love that. And it was the same with Shadowhunters. They toyed with the idea for a while of giving me gold contact lenses to like stay true to the books, and then we ended up saying no. So when season 2 came around, Jace developed these new abilities, and I took Matt Hastings, the executive producer director, I took him aside and I said, look, kind of as an homage to the book fans, when these new abilities flare, why don't Jace's eyes flare gold? And that's what we did in CGI. So there's like a little nod to sort of the book fans, and we put that in like little pieces here and there, more and more throughout the seasons, to because you know these all started as books, and Cassie the writer created these incredible worlds. That I think was really important to show that we appreciated that and appreciated that that's where our journey started.
Are you going to keep looking or seeking out other supernatural roles? Or are you ready to move on? What is next for you?
Well, it's really tricky. So I love doing this show, and I had a lot of fun with it because you know it is a new world that you get to envelop yourself in and kind of design from scratch, which is a lot of fun. But you know, career-wise, I think it's time for me to do something a little bit different and something that maybe challenges me in a different way and stretches different muscles within my ability. Because it's not that I've necessarily done this and this is over for me, but I definitely think that now is the time to spread my wings a little more and look into a foray of other different arts within this industry.
Really quickly, what do you want to play?
Oh.
I want to play a cowboy.
A cowboy, yes.
Cool.
I like that.
I want to play a cowboy or James Bond.
Yes, both work with different colored eyes. I'm into it.
Different accents, though, required for James Bond versus Cowboy.
Could you do it? Could you do a British accent?
No, an American one, dude. An American accent for Cowboy. Oh my God, Baker. All right, we're gonna leave it on that. Now, Dominic Sherwood, thanks for joining us. The final season of Shadowhunters begins Monday, February 25th on Freeform. Nice one, Baker.